Hi, here is Diodete again. If you didn't have the opportunity to watch the first video, just put your email below this one and then you have the opportunity to see the first one, because this is the second one. And here I would like to make an agreement with you just up front. As you perceive already, I'm not American. My English is not as good as yours. And also, I was born and grew up in a German settled community in the south of Brazil. And I have an accent, I know. And I don't know if I can do something about this in this moment. I have an invitation. Just have fun. If you notice some mistake during my presentation, I swear you, it wouldn't compromise my message. Let's go. Okay? And I will tell you a story. And I will tell a story with strategy that you can use to solve your challenge. When I was a teenager, I have a good one that I want to share with you. It was summer and I went each day to the school where I did study from the kindergarten until the high school. I was waiting for the high school. And something happened during this time, and eventually I was noticed by the principal because I was there each day, and I told her the story that I'm going to share with you. In November, I was ready to enroll because my grades were okay, and I was able to, I had all the credentials to the previous enrollment. My mother asked me, please give me a little bit more time. I know you told me that you want to go to the other school. Your dream is to be an engineer. But please give me a little bit time. I want to talk with the mother of your friend Becky, and she is very well prepared. She will give me a good advice. And then I came back and we will decide. Okay, after that wisdom conversation, our destiny for my friend and I was sealed. Both of us, we were sent to the normal, it's called in Portuguese normal. It was a course that prepared girls to be teachers in the grade school. According to my mother and her friend, we can have a certificate, we can build a career, and eventually have a half part-time job and help our husbands with the domestic, in our family budget. It was the way that moms thought at that time. And I saved the money until the last minute because I wanted something to happen, to change, and it happened. But it was something good for me. My mother was sick, and I was afraid because she was very sick. And I did what a lot of people at that age used to do. I promised, I prayed to God, when I want her healthy again. And I promise you, I will enroll in that course here in this school as she wanted. As she wanted. Okay. In 2 days she was okay, and I started to be worse and worse and worse day by day by day. And then I went to school each day. The principal, she was looking to me, she paid attention to my story, and then she asked me, why not you go to the other school, enroll yourself there and be an engineer as your dream is? I look in her eyes and say, I will be 100% honest with you. I don't have money left. The money that my mother gave me is here. I enroll here. I don't have money. And she has a very unexpected reaction. She hold me, grab my arm and run into her office and said to a girl sitting there, please give this girl her money back. I was looking there waiting for the precious amount of money that she gave me. And I ran to the other school. I don't remember if I said thank you. Probably I did. And I have a lot of gratitude until today to that lady that make my dream possible. It was like a turning point in my life, a huge one. And I ran to that other school. I arrived there breathless, and I was waiting for a middle-aged man that was laughing because I went there each day just to check the deadline and ask again, please save a spot for me. I want to be here. And then he did the paperwork and looked me in the eyes and say with a large smile, because he knew about my struggle. And then he said, you are on board. I was so happy, you cannot imagine. It was February the 2nd, and at that day I turned 15 years old. It was my birthday, my anniversary. And I was in the school that I wanna be. My dream was like in my hands. And something happened that you will relate to. One struggle, one battle, I won. And I had a long way in front of me to be an engineer. The first one was in high school. My parents, they didn't have extra money. They couldn't only pay the regular payments each month. I had to do the best that I can to have the material, the books, the other stuff that I need to be able to study. And when I arrived to school, I was really surprised. I saw those rich guys, those boys, they had cars, even with drivers. I was asking myself, where is the motivation to them to study? They live in huge houses. They had money to buy nice, very nice clothes. And the motivation, and I was thinking, they had all stuff they need that money can buy to give them just a wonderful life. And I had the answer. The motivation was one. The girls, we were there, and then they were there also. But they didn't study. They studied just a little bit. And then they always were sent to extra tests, to re-evaluation, and a second final exam. It was a mess. And then I saw an opportunity. We have two weaknesses that maybe we can put together and have a solution for both problems. And I went to one of those boys and said, you can bring your friends. I have an offer to you. I can study with you, and I will be so committed that you will pass. I promise you. And then they look at me and ask me what you want from us. And then I say, I have something that I want. You have money and I don't have. You don't study, and I can help you to study a little bit more in order to pass. And then we can have a deal, and then they say, done. But we have something to ask you too. Keep it in secret. We don't want the other guys to know that you are doing this. I was serving them, and I knew that was a possibility to be rewarded, and the reward was fantastic. When we returned to class and I saw all my classmates there, they won, and I took part of the process. I was so happy and also full of gratitude, because they brought me with them. They give me the money to buy the books. When I got those books in my hands, I start to study immediately, in the same minute. I was really involved. It was like the run that I start in my birthday. I never stop. And guess what? I was the first one from the first months until the last month in high school. My grades was A's, straight A's. And this energy that I built with my friends, putting together, can you imagine that? To weakness, to create a great solution. I came, and one day I was approved in the test. I was accepted to be an engineer, and I was the first one. Wow, another battle, another struggle. I did pass around, but you know that always the game, when we change level, like the games the kids did, the challenge will be more difficult. And then at school, I used the same strategy. I had to pay all my expenses. My parents didn't have money. And then I worked as a computer operator. Can you imagine? At that time, the computers are big and they need people. And my friends, they never ever think about to work at Friday night, Saturday nights, and Sunday. And then I went there and I offered myself, I can take those shifts. And I was accepted. And it was amazing. They didn't want that time. I took that time, and I got as a reward free time. I didn't need to work during all the week, and then I can study. And I finished my course, and I became an engineer. And an engineer that loves to tell stories. And you will watch the last one. It's a secret, because if you put your email, if you have already, forget. But if you didn't yet, put your email below this video, and you will send to a next video, and a surprise, a really surprise. Thank you for your time. I appreciate. And until then, just have fun.